I'm Christina Mueller, and I'm here with Matt Levy of Defender Bar. And first, Matt, I wanted to thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I know you have a couple different businesses, but we're going to chat today mostly about Defender. What inspired you? Like, what was the idea? Where did you come up with the idea for Defender Bar?
Well, my business partners and I, we've spent the last 16 years in the food space, really with a strong focus on better for you ingredient foods, improving channels and markets that consumers go after. In the past, we had done it for a meat snack brand, Field Trip, and we continue to improve that market as well. But we've noticed that in the bar category, nutritional bar category is one way to call it. I don't know if nutritional bars are the appropriate terminology for all of them,
Right.
but in the bar category in general, there was a focus on bars that were loaded with protein, but nothing else. Or there were bars that were said to be, value added to the body, but conditionally they really weren't. There was just a lot of junky ingredients in them.
Yeah.
So we felt that there was, when the RX bars of the world and Go Macros launched, call it 15, 20 years ago, or whatever it is, those concepts are a little bit dated now and they're just not current, and the markets are very saturated with them. So we thought, what does the human body need? And human body doesn't need just protein. It needs a full encompassing position of digestion.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means you need an appropriate amount of protein, you need an appropriate amount of fiber, and you need omega-3s to support your heart and your brain, and proteins for your strength, and the fibers for your digestion. And does that give you everything you need in life? No. I mean, there are other things I'm sure you need in life. That's great. But it gives you a really strong, balanced meal bar to kind of get you through your day and keep you energized. We feel like if you target just strength with protein, you're not really doing a whole lot, and
Right.
you're absorbing too much of one thing, in our opinion. So,
Well, that was something that really drew me to your product. As someone who has spent a lot of time writing about food and food products, there are a lot of protein bars out there, but your product has this mix of, it's almost an ideal mix as far as I'm concerned as a mom. When I was looking at your nutrition label, I'm holding up the cinnamon churro oatmeal bar.
mhm,
And one of the things that really drew me to the product was you've got 10 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber. So, I'm always looking for at least 5 and 5 as a mom, five and
mhm,
five, and then that no more than 5 grams of sugar. And that is
mhm.
exactly what you are. So it's 10 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, and total sugars is 5 grams. And
Yeah.
so when I saw this bar, I was like, oh my God, how come nobody's done this before?
Yeah. And in our bar, it's encapsulating exactly what you said. It's, on the cinnamon churro, for example, it's 10 grams protein, 7 grams fiber, and it has 640 mgs of omega-3.
Hmm.
Now, what does that mean? Well, from an ALA daily suggested value of 1.6 grams of omega-3, you're providing across our flavors between 40 and 57% of what is the suggested daily needs of omega-3 in just one bar.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, it's fully encompassing. It's also the first bar ever, and frankly, I think it could be the first ever packaged food product in the US to be sold as a snack that uses psyllium husk
Yeah.
as an ingredient, or
Yeah.
dandelion flower root. And they're great, great ingredients. They really do offer a lot of value. I mean, dandelion flower is traditionally used to support liver function and promote healthy fluid balance. And psyllium husk is generally used to support digestive, health.
Well, it's a
And
prebiotic fiber.
Yeah, and it really, thinking about your body and thinking about, you can load everything you want to load into your body, but you need to digest it well.
Right.
So, so the body works kind of like the way I think it's kind of like a car engine. It's like you can't just give it gas. You have to have oil. You also have to have a maintenance checkup. You've got to have a lot of different things to make it work. If you only gave a car gas after a certain amount of miles, the parts are going to break down. Everything's going to fall apart. So gas is kind of like the protein, and then you have to have everything else too. And these bars like David Bar that are just like, not to pick on a brand, I mean, but it's a popular concept for the last couple months with 28 grams of protein, but nothing else in it.
Yeah.
And it's genetically modified fat to create a protein to caloric balance. And it's just, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I think they even have a disclosure on their website. I'm pretty sure they do, that says you shouldn't eat more than two of them in a day.
Yeah. Well,
From a GI intake standpoint. So
well,
it
and
just
over
tells you something
time, what
about
does it
like,
do to you, right?
yeah. And by the way, that bar is fine. You wanna get yourself 28 grams of protein in a given moment. Sure, go ahead and do it. But it's not really the right way to, in our opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with us, to consume a real diet that has a lot of attributes for your body, that it's really conditioning you.
So I guess here's a good point, a good place to say, neither of us is an MD. We're not giving medical advice.
Nope.
The-
Nothing that I say will cure or solve anything for you. Like,
right.
I'm just, you know, we're just trying to provide a bar that provides certain key macros that we believe that are beneficial to the body.
Right. So
That is the summary.
this is a good point to just ask, if I am someone who knows nothing about prebiotics or about different kinds of fiber, why try this bar? Like why do I care about psyllium husk, right?
Mhm.
The reality is that it gives the microbes in your gut something to chew on, and it helps them then repopulate.
Mhm.
So it creates a healthy environment in your gut, the more prebiotic fiber you put in there. And also you want soluble, non-soluble fiber, right? You want that nice balance of fiber of things.
Mhm.
But psyllium husk is one of those that, it's in Metamucil, right?
Yep. The one thing I will say, it's funny. Sam husk is not a new concept. It's it's not. It's very popular
Hmm.
online. People are buying it as an supplemental additive ingredient that they use in their home pantry for balancing their diet and ensuring they're processing their system well. But it's just innovative that we've brought it in a way that you can eat it in a bar snack where you're also getting the other elements of the fiber, the protein, and the
Right.
omega-3 as a universe.
Yeah.
Um, Bringing all of that together to kind of just check a lot of boxes with one consumption.
Yep. True. I've also tried all the flavors of Defender Bar now, and I find that they hit that spot on my palate, like not too sweet. There's like I'd say a hint of sweetness in them, but they're not, it's not like, oh my God, I have to spit this out because it tastes like dessert.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not. So there are bars out there, and there's a lot of good bars out there. Like really, they offer different types of things. We think as a universe we're very different. Um, but there are good tasting bars out there. There are bad tasting bars out there. I'm not going to pick on specific brands, but I will say I think if you're a bar consumer, you've eaten bars that have date paste in them. When you eat a bar with date paste, and they use that as call it a sweetening mechanism.
Yeah.
When you eat a bar with date paste, it is, if you've ever blown up a child's balloon, and you're halfway through and your jaw feels like it's in pain and it's exploded. When you're halfway through a bar that's using date paste, it's so incredibly chewy that your jaw, or at least my jaw, and many people I know's jaws, will really start to hurt. So,
Yeah.
so it's just not like a very consumable bar in that format. And then the other ingredient that a lot of bars will use that impacts texture is a whey protein. And we find that when you've used too much whey protein in a bar, it gets kind of crumbly, and it's just not a great bar. So our concept is when you eat our bars, you feel like you're eating whole ingredient foods that are smeared together, and you can taste them. You can actually taste, like, you taste the crunch of the chia seeds in
Yeah.
there. You see all the seeds visually. They're all whole ingredients
Yep.
there. It's not a hidden solution where it's all blended together in one, thing that would squeeze out of an extruder. It's very visual. And our bar not using whey protein is a vegan bar. So it's and by the way, we're not a vegan replacement for something in life. Like, this is not like saying, hey, we made vegan steaks. It just happens to be vegan because we're using plant-based proteins.
Yeah.
It is a kosher OU certified bar. And it's a non-GMO project verified bar.
Yeah.
So kind of checking on some of in our opinion, some of the major certifications for some classes of people that are really focused on those across the country.
Right. I mean, it has all those things. Like you're noticing when you're chewing on the bar that it does have nice texture. As someone who
Mhm.
writes about restaurants and restaurant food a lot, that's a really important characteristic.
Mhm.
But also that you find this combination of flavor without having to like kill it with salt or kill it with sugar,
Yep.
and without really revealing any of your R&D secrets, because that's not what this is about. What's your process for doing that? Like, how do you find these flavor profiles?
Yeah, so a lot of work goes into them. Let me jump 3 steps ahead. One of the crazy things about R&D process that we did not expect, and I still don't understand why, and it blows my mind every time I have it. Our coconut almond chocolate chip bar, when I eat it, I don't understand why or how, but the chocolate chips always taste melty. I mean, it can be like the bar could be 30 degrees, and
Hmm.
for some reason I take a bite of it and they're always melty. I'm like, how did that happen? And
Yeah.
they taste incredible. I mean, it's an awesome bar. And every time I'm taking a bite, I'm just like baffled. I'm like, we did not plan for that.
Yeah.
And it worked out. So I guess now stepping back, like I don't think you plan for everything in R&D. You get to the finished product and you have your eyes set, in our case on macros, texture and taste, and you've got your goal set out for you, and some things end up different from where you initially designed. Anyone that says that it came out exactly how they expected to a T, I mean, like, I'm just gonna call bluff on them.
Yeah.
But we did a pretty, it was a pretty good job of getting there to where we were trying to get to. I
Yeah.
would say we were in that 80% rule, and I think we surprised ourselves even more pleasantly. And while we were in the 80% of what we expected, I think the bar came out at 110% of our goal.
In terms of
So
flavor.
yeah, so it was kind of like, not 100% what we were targeting in terms of everything necessarily, but then when we had it, we're like, man, this is way better than what we thought we were going to accomplish.
Right.
The taste, the texture was really, it's really a hard thing to nail. And I think there's a massive flaw with bars in the market when it comes to texture.
Right.
I spoke to the whey protein, and the date paste is like one of the biggest drivers of awful texture. Um, just avoiding certain things that we've seen that have failed other companies
Hmm.
before, and focusing on the whole ingredients, the pureness of it, and not getting caught up in what the cost of it's going to be in the end of the day. I think a lot of driving factors for bars are, we have to sell this for this price point. For us, we ended up hitting a great price point from a costing and management standpoint, but we didn't want to make that the focus. We wanted to create something great and let people decide if they wanted to purchase it from there.
Well, that said, I don't think the price of your bar is extraordinary. I think,
No, it's directly down the fairway. But
yeah.
it's but I think if you focus on that in an R&D process, and I have fallen subject to this before in the past and years earlier, but we've been in food now for 16 years, so we know better than to do that. When you're making something of quality and you focus on quality, and you try not to get caught up, you end up putting the wrong ingredients in or doing the wrong process. So,
Yeah.
consumers want, in the end of the day, consumers generally want something that's just good
You
and
want
that
something that
hits what
tastes
they're trying to. Yeah,
good, right?
yeah.
The value proposition is it's got to be around the flavor, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
in your case, it's definitely around the flavor, not around the price. I will say there is no coconut oil, I don't think, in this bar. Um, so, it doesn't have that same melty characteristic that the coconut almond bar does, because I've had other bars with coconut oil in it that do have that melty character.
yeah,
Um, so you're just looking for that fine balance, I think. I find that
yeah,
anything with whey in it, like even my kids who are like, "Oh, mom, I can eat as much dairy as I want and not have problems." I'm like, "No, you can't. It's going to catch
yeah,
up with you." Like
yeah. So
human animals are not supposed to eat that much dairy.
the oils will naturally create like a slickness to the bar with like an oily resin. What I'm referring to, the melty, is actually the chocolate chips inside the bar.
Mm.
As if you microwaved it and those chocolate chips stand alone were melted. The whole bar is solidified.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. I don't know how or why. We are all baffled by it. None of us can figure it out, but it's really good.
All right, so I
So,
want to dig in on inulin. I think people are paying a little bit more attention to inulin,
sure.
as we start to think about fiber more with the whole GLP thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, You have, or Defender has two kinds of inulin. You work with chicory root
Yep,
fiber and dandelion root fiber.
that's right. Those are the
And
two.
so I have a couple questions around specifically the inulin there.
Mhm.
Why inulin and why two kinds of inulin in a single bar?
Yeah, I mean, really, the chicory root fiber is, a really great source of it. Dandelion flower root as well. We found that if we want to attract people to our bar from a, call it, full digestive standpoint and make people aware, we need to have some triggers there more than just fiber. So showing them that we're using ingredients like dandelion flower root, which has inulin, or chicory root fiber that has inulin, or psyllium husk that does not have inulin, but it is a really good digestive tool. So I think that that is a benefit to the consumer, but also a marketing standout. So like there's a combination of business protocol and marketing and benefits, and we want to align ours so that the business protocol meets the benefits, right? But also providing something unique to the consumer. And I think in this case, that's what we've done.
So the inulin gives you that really good boost of fiber. It
Yeah.
keeps the good bacteria in your gut happy because it gives it
Yep.
something to eat, which helps it procreate.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. Inulin will keep you from, bloating in theory and cramping. And, it does a lot of good things. It improves digestion. I'm not saying our bar does these things. I can't make statements that we solve these problems for people, but inulin in itself, is known to slightly improve blood sugar control. And it does a lot of really good things. And the two ingredients that we use that do that are chicory root fiber and dandelion flower root as a
right.
combination.
Now, I know you
So
spoke earlier about dandelion root powder, but what is it about specifically dandelion root that makes it such a no-brainer to add to the Defender bar?
because no one else has ever done it before, and it's a great ingredient. Honestly, just trying to be very cutting edge. It's an ingredient. Dandelion flower root is similar to psyllium husk. It's very popular online purchase. People are buying it on Amazon. It's clearly something that people are aware of. They're just no one's using it in another format. So I guess our logic was, if these ingredients are in demand, but no one's actually formulating them, then why can't we provide to the consumers another form of intake?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Take these along with other great ingredients to give you that bar that meets the scope of what we're trying to provide.
Right. And as a consumer, if you're looking to optimize your health, you're hopefully searching out this good balance of protein and fiber. Yeah.
That's what we like to think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, as someone, I think there's so much going on around, the gut-brain connection and improving gut health. And, I think most of us have been on some sort of journey to improve our gut health.
Mhm.
But why does all of this matter? Like, why add prebiotics into your diet, specifically adding it in the form of inulin?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, I just want to be really clear. When we make statements about why we're including something, we're not saying that we are fixing your gut. We're not saying you're fixing your brain, your heart. We're not saying that we are, if you have an issue, we're not your solution, right? We're saying that from a dietary standpoint, we believe these are great values and benefits to the human body and can support them.
Yeah.
And evidence has proved that omega-3s provide really good brain and heart support. Okay. Evidence has proved that fiber is, really good for digestive support. And evidence has proved that protein, digestible protein, is a really good support for building strength. We are not saying that you will build strength with ours, with protein. We're saying that that's what the evidence has said. So what we're doing is we're just following the lead of what our world of scientists has told us, that these ingredients in general will do all of those great things. So, combining them, building a format that's consumable in a quick 44-gram bar
Yeah.
that tastes really good, that you don't feel bad about when you need a snack anyway. And I eat 2 to 3 of them a day. So can definitely stand by it. I actually literally just ate one a minute ago. I'll pull my wrapper up and show you on a video, but they can't see. But I just ate it a second ago. I it's just it's a good functional snack.
Yeah.
So
And I, I think if you don't eat a lot of fibers, starting with the Defender bar, I would start with one a day and just see how it goes because anytime you add fiber to your diet, it can
Hmm.
your system needs a little bit of time to get used to
Yeah,
it.
it's going to provide if it's working for your body the way it should, meaning fiber. It's going, and I'm not saying Defender, but regularity.
Yeah.
And while I know that's kind of like sometimes an uncomfortable thing for people to talk about, it's an important thing for processing.
Well, gut health, fiber
Yep.
for gut health for regular elimination, shall we say.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
All right, Matt, where are your products sold? If I'm interested in learning more about Defender, where can I find you?
So this is a great time for this call. Obviously, while we've been doing CPG for the last 16 years, and we're out there with our other brand. Defender had just launched in August of 2025, so it just came to market. You'll see it sporadically in some of the independent stores throughout the country. Probably at this point, probably 1,000 to 2,000 stores or so are carrying it. And then Amazon is definitely the most it's probably the easiest way to buy it right now if you want to check it out, or our website at defenderbar.com.
Okay.
We definitely can offer a promotion code to anyone that's listening to this podcast to, give you a chance to try it at a little bit of a trial rate. But it is Amazon is always the easiest place to tell people to go. Just go there, check it out. We have solid caddies there, and we have a mix pack there, and gives you a way to try it. I don't think you'll be let down. If you ever are, send us a message and we'll take care of it because I guarantee it, 9 out of 10 people are going to love this product. It's a really good bar.
All right, cool. So I guess look for the code on wherever you get your podcasts. It'll be on the page with this podcast. And just to wrap things up, Matt, thank you so much for being on my podcast. And I look
Yeah,
forward to tasting more of your work.
appreciate being here. I mean, like I said, new brand, new thing coming to market. We're excited about it. So any awareness that we can get is great and love talking to you about it. So
All
thank
right.
you.